What's up, guys, and welcome back to some more Team Yankee here. So we have some BMPs, the ubiquitous transport and fighting vehicle here for the Soviets, although we are using them for our Iraqi forces. And of course, you get 5 in a box here, and we're gonna get this open for you guys in just a moment. It makes the BMP1 or BMP2 company here. So again, the 5 vehicles all plastic, thankfully. And the downside, of course, is that these things are so damn cheap, so you need so many of them really if you want to field certain things in quantity and want them transported and all that. So 5 is basically just the tip of the iceberg. And I think with some of the things we're going to be running here, trying to run out of our Iraqis, we're going to be needing 30 plus of these dang things. So, and again, them being so dirt cheap, it's that's really the main reason also for needing so many. But anyway, mini rant over there. So we're gonna get this open for you guys here in just a second. And as you can kind of see, I think that's the 1, and then the 2 had the slightly bigger turret and all that. But anyway, and the bigger gun. So we're gonna get this open for you guys, sorted out, take a look at the cards as usual. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, we got everything opened up here for you. So again, you get 10 sprues in here and a fair bit of cards, and then the commander sprues as well. So little differences here. The BMP1 is on the left and the 2 is on the right side of the frame here. So again, very similar hull, just differences mainly, I think, for the crew fighting layout here if they want. I think those are hatches that they could fight out of. If I'm not mistaken, correct me in the comments, of course, if I'm wrong. And then some of the gun bits and things are on here. And then the 2 had a bigger turret overall, just so there was more room for the crew, among other things. And then on the other side of the plastics, again, the tracks, nice and easy there. And then the different turret assemblies. Again, you can make both things out of the kit, essentially, just depending on how you choose to glue things down and all that. So if you're very careful about it, you could really swap things out if you wanted to. And then the rear hatch and everything as well. Smoke and all that fun stuff. So, again, 5 of each of those. Then our ubiquitous Soviet commander sprue here, which in our case will double as for Iraqis, of course. And then the 6 cards that you get here. So I've kind of separated them. These are, I think, really, after double checking, the only versions that you'll get for the Iraqis. So, and I think, honestly, just BMP 1s, if I'm not mistaken. So really should be separated a little bit more. But yeah, BMP 1s, I think BTRs are the other thing for the Iraqis. But again, that's kind of what we're going to focus on. Soviets also, of course, can field all kinds of other things as well. So BMP 1 Scouts. So again, clocking in at those points there, and all the wonderful abilities that the BMP actually has. So again, not much in the way of armor, but that's not really the point, right? So the BMP-1 is, of course, packing that 73 mil gun, 1 shot at a time, or I should say just rate of fire 1 all the time. Halted or moving, range 16, AT-12, firepower 3 up. It is a heat round. And then also comes with an AT-3 Sagger missile, so another opportunity there for some better AT-19, in fact, firepower 3 up still, guided and heat, and then a 7.62 machine gun. BMP-2 basically keeps the same armor profile, a little bit less on cross-country dash, actually, by 4 inches. Goes down to a 30 mil gun, which still has AT-10, but much more in the way of rapid fire. A little bit shorter range. Firepower drops, though, to 5, but has anti-helicopter and stabilizer. But then a much better missile with the Spandrel, which also has a much lower minimum range, I think 16 on the Sagger versus just the 8 here, so you can get a little bit closer and still fire off. AT-21, firepower 3, guided and heat as well, and then still keeping the machine gun. And again, on the Soviets here, you get, it's a tank unit, it's amphibious, infrared, spearhead, all that fun stuff. BMP-1 OP, which, again, I don't recall seeing across the Iraqi list. I think they're using M113s, if I'm not mistaken. Or a couple other vehicles I cannot remember off the top of my head, but it does not ring a bell for being in the Iraqi list. And then the Shock BMP-2 transport, which is for sure not part of the Iraqi forces, but again, Soviets get all kinds of goodies here. The best of the best, really. So side-by-side comparison, of course, and again, we're not getting into really a review here of the BMP and its uses, just because, again, that would be a much longer video, and really probably multiple videos, you could do several just on the uses for the Soviets and the various lists that they can run. But again, our list, we're taking these to field in our Iraqi force to have true mech companies. So that's the main use there. And I think we're really just limited to the BMP 1. So again, just zooming in on that real quick, right? Amphibious infrared, passengers 2, courage of 4, skill 5, assault 5, counterattack 4, morale 3, remount 3. Not terrible there. Is hit on 3s though, so you will be losing these. So, but that's also why you get to field so many of the damn things. Again, not much in the way of armor, but that's, again, not the point. Speedy on that cross-country dash, right? 28 versus 24 there. All the other movements the same. They both cross on a 3. And then kind of just that side-by-side comparison with the armament there. So, again, you get a little bit more range, interestingly, with the 30 mil gun by 4 inches. Much more in the way of rapid fire. You lose a little bit of anti-tank. 10 is still respectable, though, for popping some things on the side, and that quantity of shots will make up for it. But you do lose a lot in firepower, so that 5-up is going to be a little bit rougher, and you're going to need to connect more to get more chances at that. But it gives you anti-tank and, anti-helicopter and stabilizer, so you have some interesting options there for some a little bit of anti-air support. The Soviets have so much of that anyway, though. The 73 mil, though, has heat. Both are heat missiles as well as far as their other armament. The Sager, again, minimum 16 versus minimum 8 on the Spandrel. Also a shorter range, so there's a much tighter window when that's going to be effective there. But again, rate of fire 1, of course, only halted. AT-19 is still really respectable. Not going to, again, deal with sort of the premier tier 1 Western vehicles, but sides are vulnerable and if they're not rocking Chabum or something. And certainly is going to wreck lighter things. But the Spandrel definitely is a heavy hitter, and again, both have guided and heat as well. And then the machine gun is the same across both of these guys here. So flipping over real quick. So again, we can kind of ignore the red banner things here because that's not going to apply for our Iraqis. But again, if you're running Soviets, obviously that will. Amphibious, guided, heat, infrared, and then passengers dose. But then on the BMP-2, of course, you get the stabilizer and then the anti-helicopter as well. So anyway, really cool vehicle. Loving what it can do. And again, the fact that these are so dirt cheap in general, depending on, what force you're using them as. Again, BMP-2s are going to run you a little bit more, of course, because overall they're better. But, just depending on what you're running, you get so many of these things, even if you are running the 2s, that, you're going to get a lot of shooting out of these, hopefully. And, if the enemy's focusing on these, hopefully they're not focusing on your main vehicles like MBTs and stuff like that, if that's what you're running, or vice versa. And again, if the dice are with you, it seems like these can definitely still pour out some firepower and put the hurt on the enemy. But let us know in the comments, guys, your favorite stories of either your successes or horrible failures with either flavor of BMP, and whether it's Soviets or other factions that can run them. Love to hear from you guys. Again, we're slowly building our Iraqi force here, so we haven't actually, unfortunately, been able to play with these yet, and we have a mountain of these to do. Again, we're planning on running at least 30 of these. Likely we'll need 40 of the dang things if the math checks out. And right now we only have 15, so we have a mountain of that to build, but so much more to get, and we're still working through our T-62s as well. So we have, 30 T-62s to get through. And we've already done a video on that a ways back, so we just kind of waited for assembly until we kind of got most of the force together here. But mountain of things, and then also 3 mech companies of Iraqi infantry to assemble as well. So kind of trying different things. We're going to do a T-62 company with some infantry backup, and then also have enough to run just a mechanized infantry force with some tank backup, and just try different things. So should be really fun. Really looking forward to getting all this built and then out on the table. So again, hit us up in the comments, guys. Let us know your thoughts on the BMPs overall, whether you play with them or against them. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps keeps the channel growing, and we appreciate everybody who's been doing that. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out.